T-Rain on the mix.
Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ ronú àti sọ́fàbọ̀ ti pẹ́. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ ronú àti sọ́fàbọ̀ ti pẹ́. Àsìkò tẹ̀wá ti tó ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ṣẹgbọ́. Àsìkò tẹ̀wá ti tó ká fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ṣẹgbọ́. Tọrọ ọ̀rọ̀ tá a bá dìjọ́rò igun ló ń kú. Àsìkò ti tó tẹ̀wé tàtàkà máa di dàgbàrà wa. Lọ́wọ́ àwọn amúnisìn o. Wọ́n ní sí mọ́tò abákẹ́kọ̀ọ́dé. Ọmọ òpè ti jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ lórí àdúgbò ìdílé. Ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá ó tó kọ́kọ́ nílò mi nù. Gbogbo Yorùbá tó bá ń gbọ́ mi lórílẹ̀ ayé pátá. Igi gogoro má kún mi lójú bó ṣe máa ń wí. Àtòkèrè ló yẹ kí olójú ti lọ fáráyé. Láti kékeré láti pẹ̀ka ìrókò tó bá yá. Ìbá ti dàgbà ó dájú pé pa òrùlé ká. Ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe ń gbọ́ mi àbí kì í dákẹ́ jẹ́. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àbáfẹ́ àbí ìbòhùn àgógó. Ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe ń gbọ́ mi àbí kì í dákẹ́ jẹ́. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àbáfẹ́ àbí ìbòhùn àgógó. Kí ló dé táwọn Yorùbá fi ìyà jẹ wá? Ọmọ òpè tí mo fẹ́ forin fọ́ gbáyọ̀gà wáráyé. Ìṣọ̀kan òsín mọ́ làwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kí ló dé? Àwọn ìfún ìlú ẹ̀wọ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ káwọ́ sàlẹ̀ wọn. Ìwọ̀n ọ̀dàlẹ̀ yìí ti pọ̀ jù ó yẹ kí ẹ jáwọ́. Ọ̀dàlẹ̀ ò lè láti wọ̀ kàn kí wọ́n tètè ìgbọ́sẹ̀sí. Ẹni bá dàlẹ̀ Yorùbá kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ dàlẹ̀ yìí ti tù. Máa sojojo fún wọn kó da kókòrò létí fẹ́. Ẹnu ọmọ Yorùbá kì í kó sí mọ rere. Pẹ̀tẹ̀pẹ̀tẹ̀ tí mo bá nà ní pàpà ẹni tó bá bá bóyá kíákíá kó lọ tún lè ṣe. Torí pé ọ̀rọ̀ ṣì ń bọ̀ ó lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe ń dákẹ́ àbí fi tẹ̀síwájú. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àbábẹ́ àdìgbò àgbogbo. Ọmọ Yorùbá ṣe dákẹ́ àbí fi tẹ̀síwájú. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àbábẹ́ àdìgbò àgbogbo. Mọ mẹ́ta ni mo mọ̀ tó ń da Yorùbá rú. Onísìmọ̀tò Abíọ́lá ẹgbẹ́ tètè borí sọ. Ẹ̀sìn àjèjì pẹ̀lú òṣèlú àti fẹ́ máa gbà fúnra wa. Òtún ní èmi òjú ẹni Yorùbá ń bá ká. Tó bá dọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú wọn kì í pọn ọmọ ìyá wọn. Láwọn sábà sọ pé lọ́la náà là jẹ́. Ọmọ Yorùbá lọ̀dàlẹ̀ tó ń dalẹ̀ ara wọn. Ẹ̀sìn àjèjì òjú jẹ́ kẹ́nu wọn lè kó rárá mọ́. Mùsùlùmí pẹ̀lú ẹlẹ́sìn Kírísítẹ́nì ẹ̀ súnmọ́ bí. Ẹ̀sìn ò sọ pé ká gbàgbé orísun èèyàn wa. Jẹ́ kí n máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àbí kí n dákẹ́ jẹ́. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àbábẹ́ àdìgbò àgbogbo. Jẹ́ kí n máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ ní àbí kí n dákẹ́ fẹ́. Máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ àbábẹ́ àdìgbò àgbogbo. Ó ti yá alágogo kí n gbọ́. Agogo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lè gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere. Alájà ìsìmọ̀tò Abíọ́lá. Paramount kùnà fún àkànní ní gbogbo US pátápátá. Yóò sọ pé alágogo kí n gbọ́. Agogo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lè gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ìyá ń jẹ àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ bí. Ìyá ń jẹ àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́. Ebi ń pa àwọn ya tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́. Ìyá ń jẹ àwọn ọmọ tẹ́ ẹ bí. Ìyá ń jẹ àwọn ọkọ tẹ́ ẹ ní. Ebi ń pa àwọn ya tẹ́ ẹ fẹ́. Torí pé tẹ́ àtẹ̀kọ́ tẹ́ ẹ ní. Ẹ ò lè déjì ẹ̀mọ́ nítorí Fúlàní ìfimọ̀ àlùjọpọ tí a dá. Kàkà kẹpà rọ́pọ̀dọ̀ fi inú yín. Kẹwọ́ solution sí fúnra yín. Ẹ̀wọ́ bìkítà ẹ̀kọ́ tí ikú. Ó ti wá dọ̀rùn òkú wọlé bọ̀ o. Alágogo lù kí n gbọ́. Agogo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lè gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere. Ọmọ pẹ̀lú alágogo lù kó wọ́n ti. Agogo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má lè gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti wá pọ̀ jù pọ̀tẹ́ rí.
ẹjọ́ máa bá wa share àwọn sójà ti attack wa àwọn sójà ẹjọ́ ẹ máa share ilé Chief Sunday Igboho àwọn sójà ti surround gbogbo ilé wọ́n yìnbọn gidi ni báyìí ẹjọ́ bá wa share bá wa pass information yẹn fún gbogbo ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire ẹjọ́ mi ò lè bọ́ta gan inú ilé ni mo ṣàwà báyìí please help me to share we are under attack now please let all the warrior be informed. Please help us to notify everybody. Please call everybody to be at alert. We are under attack now in Chief Sunday Igboho house. Ẹjọ́ we are under attack already with Nigerian military. Confirm lele. Ẹjọ́ àwọn sójà ní Nigeria sójà. Ìbọn wọn lẹ ń gbọ́ yẹn wọ́n yìnbọn gidi ni confirm. Ẹ bá wa share, ẹ máa bá wa pass information yẹn. Everybody wà at alert. Àwọn warrior kí gbogbo wọn wà at alert. Àwọn tó bá lè máa move bọ̀ bá anywhere tó bá wà. Confirm gidi ni o ìbọn lẹ ń gbọ́ tó yìn gidi yẹn àwọn Nigeria sójà lélẹ̀ please help me to share Chief Sunday Igboho house ilé olóyè Igboho ṣe ń gbọ́ ẹ ń gbúrò bọn ẹjọ́ ẹ máa bá mi share ẹjọ́ ẹ bá mi share ẹ bá mi pariwo fún gbogbo àwọn ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire àwọn Nigeria military wọ́n ti wá attack wa ẹjọ́ this to 2 ẹjọ́ torí Ọlọ́run wọ́n ti yìnbọn more than 10 minutes ó yẹ kí n ti gbé sí live látẹ̀kùn but I want to confirm láti mọ̀ bóyá òótọ́ ni kí n tó wá sí live kí n má bàa fún yín ní wrong information àwọn Nigeria sójà ni wọ́n kún táǹsì wọ́n surround wa ni ẹjọ́ torí Ọlọ́run wọ́n dẹ̀ yìnbọn gidi kì í ṣe ṣeré ẹ bá mi máa share ẹjọ́ ẹ bá mi máa share ẹ bá mi share ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá mọ̀ nílé lóko gbogbo èèyàn àwọn tẹ́ bá lè jí ẹ jí wọn ẹ bá mi share confirm mo sọ fún yín ẹjọ́ àtọ́jú oorun lèmi náà ti gbúrò ọ̀bọ̀ náà ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní pé everybody lórí phone pé kí everybody wà alert ìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ máa confirm sí àwọn làwọn sójà ni mi lè bọ́ síta o but confirm lélẹ̀ everybody ìbọn lọ́yìn gidi yẹn kì í ṣe kékeré ó surround wa ni so ẹ bá wa share Nigerian sójà ni o àwọn ìjọba location náà ìlú tó bá ti kúkú máa dàrú látòrí ó dàrú.
wọ́n ti ń papà jù wá lọ́kọ̀ gbé wọ́n ti ń papà jù wá lọ́kọ̀ gbé wọ́n ti ń papà jù wá láyà gbé wọ́n ní kó tètè lọ wá owó wá ọ̀rọ̀ owó wọn máa pa wọn tí wọ́n jí gbé Yorùbá ò sọ̀rọ̀ wọn wéwòrán wọn lójúmọ́ ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ kiri lágbègbè wa ìjọba ò sì tètè òwúwà òkú ṣe nítorí òṣèlú ṣẹráyé ibi Yorùbá ń jìyà lórílẹ̀ wọn àwọn olónílẹ̀ wọn wá ń ṣẹrú àsìkò ti tó ẹ̀dùnjẹ ká gbára wa ó ti yá alágogo dùn kí n gbọ́ agogo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má gbẹ̀ ń gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere gbogbo àwọn tó ti sùn ẹ lágogo fún wọn kí wọ́n ó jí ó ti yá alágogo dùn kí n gbọ́ agogo ìkìlọ̀ ni ẹ má gbẹ̀ ń gbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́n rere Fúlàní ìjẹran joko tí a dá.
I say good morning and welcome to. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that the audio was muted, but I think we should be good now. A very good morning and welcome again to the late night broadcast. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI, and I'm sure a lot of you probably know the platform. It's been a while. Almost 72 hours since we returned back from Glasgow. I said good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what part of the globe you're watching us from. The beauty about this platform that we use is we don't have to get a license from Lai Mohammed or the Nigerian government. So that means I could come live at any time as long as the platform is not down. And what is the platform? The social media, which is the new media to communicate, to discuss, to engage. People use it for different things, depending on what you're looking for. Some use it for business purpose. Some use it for just networking. Some using it to promote whatever they believe in. But we have decided to use it to bring the conscious mind of millions of people. We literally does not mean that everybody must agree with us. Because when we talk about a country like Nigeria, we have about almost 200 million of us in Nigeria, and probably just about maybe 100 million outside, which I can say yes. By the time you calculate some of the generation that is also coming up as well, you will realize that we have that other numbers to that extent. But we still have a lot of people that believe in the country for whatever reason. And they believe in the country passionately. They believe that the country will give them whatever they're asking for. Some of us don't believe that anymore. It is just too late. When we look at our parents, most of our parents are now in their 70s. For those of us that still have our parents with us. Why some parents have left this sinful world to the unknown destination? Some say the other world. But one thing I could tell us is those generations were more than scared for so many reasons. Probably maybe now some of them are holding it tight based on what they are seeing and what they are hearing. But we, this generation, refuse to be intimidated. We refuse to accept that a country like Nigeria will bully us. Those previous generations have been bullied. And they've been bullied to the extent that some of them, during their own lifetime, were unable to do what we are doing now. And that is why we left Nigeria for a very long time, where so many lives have been lost. And if we continue in that direction, the next generation would also point finger at us. Especially those of us that have lived outside the country for a very long time. I remember before I traveled, especially somebody that lived somewhere in Lagos Island, we look up to those that have traveled. But then the communication was not as better as what we have now. The engagement. If you wanted to receive a phone call, I'm talking about in the 90s, from somebody living in UK as an example, you might have to be told one day in advance that a call will be coming for you. And I'm sure some of you understand what I'm talking about. If I was to receive a phone call from my mom in 1993, I will be told in advance that she's going to be calling me the next day at 7 p.m. And that means I have to be on the seat at 7 p.m. because the communication gap was not as beautiful as what we have it now, that I can literally pick up my phone and speak to you right now. It wasn't like that some 23 years ago. But now that we have all this information in our hands, the question then is, who is still supporting Nigeria? Who are those still having it at the back of their mind that a country called Nigeria will work? Who are those? Who are those individuals that are still praying that Nigeria will be a country? I'm sure some of you remember this face. If not everybody, majority of us. She has now spent 3 months with the federal government of Nigeria. Do you know her crime? Do you know what she's done? Just because she was using a platform to enlighten, to educate, to tell millions of people around the world the plight of millions of people in that contraction we call Nigeria. That is just our offense, nothing more than that. The only offense that she did was because she was the one that told us the attack at Chief Sunday Igboho's house on the 1st of July. I've gone back to the page again. 881 people, 1,000 have been able to watch this video. And the last comment was just 1 hour ago. God will save you from DSS custody. But the question is this how we are going to allow her kept from the hard work of the legal representative trying to secure a release and the last person? She's not the first person that we know have been dealt with by Nigerian government. But my pity is for those that are still thinking that a country like Nigeria would be able to protect them from whatever walks of life they're doing. It does not matter whatever you're doing presently. But what matters is millions of you watching back home might one day be facing similar, if not close, to what Ifeoluwa, as she's known, Lady K is going through presently. But because we are all too busy to see these problems, we are more concerned that why must she be abusing different people, calling names because she was just sitting down on her computer or mobile phone. But majority of us never knew that she was only fighting for those that their voice had been muted because of a country that they live in but do not have the same opportunity. You might think that you are much more better than her. You might think that you will never have any reason to be in her shoe. But one thing I could tell us is, whatever your position in regard to your belief on what she was fighting for, one day you might be facing something much more bigger than what she's currently facing. Once again, a very good morning. It's exactly 10 minutes past 2 a.m. on the late night broadcast. We know, just like Chief Sunday Igboho, that is being kept in Benin Republic is for a purpose. And likewise, Ifeoluwa Lady K has been kept in the hands of the DSS by the power to be. But one thing is, power is transit. It does not matter what this government think. It does not matter how powerful they might be. What we can guarantee is power does not belong to them for the rest of their lives. Even if they decide to keep her there for the next how many years or months or days, those keeping her in the power cannot be as powerful as the creator of this planet. Those that are holding her and the rest of those other individuals would not live in this world throughout the life, because one day that life will stop. But what they might not understand is holding Lady K, Ifeoluwa, and Oladele, to them is because they have the power to do so. But what they do not understand is you cannot hold them forever, because power is transit. We might not have the kind of power that the federal government have presently. We might not have the means to fight back the federal government as we might want to. We might not have the skills, the opportunity that the federal government think they have by holding back Lady K and Oladele and Showore, Nnamdi Kanu, and the rest of those individuals that we don't even know their names. But one thing is, we will remember them before and after they've lived this shameful world. The federal government might say that Lady K was trying to destabilize a country, that she was using a platform to instigate whatever offense according to the federal government on her. But the question I'm asking this morning is, whatever Lady K was discussing and engaging, was it a fact or was it something she was just making up? Was she making it up to get the audience to view her? Or was she making it up for her own selfish gain? Or was she making it up because she ate the government? No, that was not the situation. She was using a platform just to engage like this. Let's watch this together.
First, we want to say thank you to the Nigerian Embassy in Cameroon for celebrating us. We appreciate you more than you know. Other than that, we do not feel appreciated or celebrated after achieving this historical feat. In 2017, we won the AfroBasket Championship, and 3 days later, we were presented to the Father of Nations, Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, and his entire cabinet by the former ministry, Honorable Solomon Dalon, as customary with handshake. We have defended our championship and brought back the cup in 2019 and 2021, which is historical, but still, no invitation has been. But when we win, they magically show up for photo ops and celebrations to use for political gain. Musa Kida was not in Cameroon, but somehow he showed up to Abuja to take pictures and to hoist the trophy, again, for political gain.
The Tokyo 2020 Olympics was full of a bunch of distractions for all of us. We didn't know the final roster until the day before the flight. So our first team practice was in Tokyo days before the first game.
There's a lot of things that could have been handled differently to increase our chances of success, starting with our travel. There was a 36-hour flight, our team gear and uniforms, making sure they're up standard, 2 practices a day, not being able to access medical staff at certain points during the Olympics, as well as gift exchange between teams.
Why hasn't the team been to Nigeria since 2019? We're wondering the same thing. As the Tigers players, we want to go back to Nigeria. We don't understand why we have not been to the country for the last 2 years for camp or for any celebration. It's customary that the team is to go home for major competitions so that we can have morale. It's also important that we inspire the next generation to follow their dreams. Every player that has been a D-Tigress since 2017 has their own thoughts and feelings about the dissolved NBBF board and coaching staff over the course of the time. It is evident that our voices have not been heard, our requests for little things have been ignored, on top of not being celebrated or recognized as much as a 3 times back-to-back African Cup of Nations champion deserve.
Our demands: all money owed to players, officials, and vendors, adequate travel to competitions, and a team manager for all team functions. If these demands are not met, with all due respect to the presidency, the NBBF, and the ministry, all D-Tigers players will not be reporting to the FIBA World Cup tournament in 2022 in February. We are one united voice.
I stand.
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 I hope you got the message. Mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń wò mí nílé àti níbikíbi tẹ́ ti láǹfààní àti máa wò. Do you understand what I've just played now? These were meant to be a team representing a country back to back for 3 years. won the African female basketball back to back fún ọdún mẹ́ta. Do you think they live in Nigeria? From their accent, bó ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n rò pé Nàìjíríà làwọn èèyàn ń gbé? They don't live in Nigeria, but they're representing Nigeria. I'm sure you know how these work. They are not living in Nigeria, but they are representing Nigeria from their base. So that means all they do is they just meet up, at the African basketball and they do what they have to do because they live in the society, probably in America, in different parts of, I don't know where they live. But representing a country that Lady K was complaining about, I'm sure some of those females must have come across Lady K video before. They're like, nah, what's she talking about? Because they thought they were more intelligent, more eloquent, more better looking, more opportune than her. That she was campaigning for the same problem they are now also coming out to discuss. Ibi tí mo lọ gangan nìyẹn. Obìnrin làwọn tí mo show yín tán nísìn. They are complaining that the country that they love so much called Nigeria, that Lady K is complaining about for the injustice, inhumane, the crime, the genocide, the atrocity, the hatred among a lot of us. Tẹ́ bá wo gbogbo àwọn tó gbá basketball yẹn, I'm probably sure there's no Fulani Hausa among them. I don't know. I've not looked at the statistics properly. But here we go. These are the same women, because I won't call them girls or anyone. They are our mothers. They've now done a 4-minute video saying they will not even attend the 2021 Tokyo upcoming basketball female because they've not been given all their allowances by the Nigerian government. It's not about the allowance that I'm talking about here. I'm talking about these are the same women that must have heard about the plight of Chief Sunday Igboho, because if anyone across the globe tó jẹ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà tó ṣì ń sọ fún mi pé lẹ́nìí òun ò mọ̀ pé wọ́n ń pèèyàn kan ní Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho Òòṣà ìmọ́lẹ̀ Yorùbá tí ìjọba Nàìjíríà lọ gbé ogun bá nílé, then ẹni yẹn bàbá irọ́ ló ń pa. But tọ́ba wá ní àwọn wo lọ́kó lọ, wá ní wọ́n mú obìnrin kan láàrin wọn, which is Lady K. Obìnrin làwọn tó sọ̀rọ̀ tán nísìnyí. Ìjà ta ni Lady K ń jà? Ìjà ta ni Lady K ń jà? But because we have lived in a society where some believe that we are fighting the wrong fight, and there's no reason for anyone to have sympathy for us, especially during these crises, because I believe we are just in crisis. And the crisis is just for a matter of time. Crisis tá à ń go through nísìn fúngbà díẹ̀ ni, kò lè jẹ́ forever. But one thing we've got to remind ourselves is, bí ti ṣe sọ ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀, Ọlọ́run ọba òun ni alágbára. Lọ́kàn ara wọn, lọ́kàn ìjọba, ní ọkàn tiwọn, àwọn ni wọ́n ní agbára lọ́wọ́. Àmọ́ Ọlọ́run ọba kábíyèsí òun lálágbára. Once again, a very good morning from this part of the globe. And when we are now demanding that let us review this country called Nigeria, because it is just not working for every one of us. Some people say, no, you can't do so, because you cannot be outside the country and then instigate problem in the country. Because lọ́kàn àwọn kan, àwa ni à ń dá wúrúdu sílẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Àwa ni à ń gbé Nàìjíríà la fi fọmọ́lẹ̀. We are the ones that want to break up Nigeria because we hate the government, we hate, the politicians. Let us watch this. In just few days from now, by this time next week, Wednesday, it will be 1 year that EndSARS took place in Nigeria.
Thank you. Good morning. Look at that. I've often heard that it is best to start these types of talks with a joke to make you people feel comfortable and relaxed. And so I have no such plans. What I do have, though, is a clip from a live recording I made on the 20th of October, 2020. Please, viewer discretion is advised.
They're shooting us! They're shooting people! They're all students! See somebody else. Everybody look at this. These are the bullets that were falling by our side, that were dodging bullets.
My name is Obianuju Catherine Ude. Don't worry, you can call me DJ Switch. I'm from Enugu State, which is in the southeast region of Nigeria. For years, young Nigerians like myself with interesting hairstyles, ripped jeans, iPhones, nice cars, have been harassed, extorted, illegally detained, tortured, raped, and killed by the Nigerian police. Specifically, a unit of the Nigerian police called SARS. SARS stands for Special Anti-Robbery Squad, and trust me, they truly are a special bunch. A special breed of armed robbers in uniform. A special group and gang of rapists with a badge. A special crowd of murderers with a license to carry a gun. For as long as I can remember, we begged and petitioned the Nigerian government to put an end to this corrupt unit. And to their credit, they complied, or at least it seemed like they complied. First, with the disbandment of SARS in 2016, then again in 2017, 2018, 2019. I know it's an abusive relationship. 2020, and I know we all won't be forgetting 2020 in a hurry. As the coronavirus ravaged the globe, back home in Nigeria, we were more afraid of another type of virus, SARS.
On the 3rd of October, a video surfaced online where SARS officers shot a young man and fled with his Lexus SUV. We were outraged. But this was followed by the gunning down of an up-and-coming Nigerian musician. I'm a musician. Could have been me. At this point, the hashtag #EndSARS was trending all over the world. And thanks to Nigeria's biggest celebrities and artists, influencers who said, enough is enough, it is time we speak up. And so by the 8th of October, the streets of Nigeria were filled with young men and women protesting police brutality, and I was one of them. But it is the 20th of October, 2020, that has brought me here today. On that very horrible day, the Nigerian army, sanctioned by the Nigerian government, stormed the Lekki toll gate. And this is a major roadway in Lagos State, by the way. No warning, no dialogue. Soldiers opened fire on unarmed, peaceful protesters with live ammunition. We cried, we braced.
I'm going to stop it there for a while and then come back again here. What was she fighting for? After watching this clip that we started with, and then this one that we are still watching, what then was she fighting for? Was she fighting for herself? Or was she fighting for the injustice and the crime against humanity being committed on a daily basis as we speak right now in every community, in every part of the country, where currently genocide is being committed in Nigeria? But she will not be the first person to also fight in this direction that the government went very hard on. Let us watch this.
Frances Abigail Olufumilayo Ransom Kuti was born on October 25, 1900 in Abeokuta. Her father was a son of a returnee slave from Sierra Leone who had traced his ancestral history back to Abeokuta in what is today Ogun State in Nigeria. She attended the Abeokuta Grammar School for her secondary education and later went to England for further studies. She soon returned to Nigeria and became a teacher. On January 20, 1925, she married the very Reverend Israel Oludotun Ransom Kuti. Oludotun, who was 9 years older than her, had met her in 1913, but waited 12 years before he married her. He was 33 while she was 24. They had 4 children together: Dolupo, Olikoye, Olufela, and Bekolari. Throughout her career, she was known as an educator and activist. She founded an organization for women in Abeokuta with a membership tally of over 20,000 individuals spanning both literate and illiterate women. Ransom Kuti launched the organization into public consciousness when she rallied women against price controls which were hurting the female merchants of the Abeokuta markets. Trading was one of the major occupations of women in the western Nigeria of the time. In 1949, she led a protest against native authorities, especially against the Alake of Egba land, Oba Samuel Ladapo Ademola. She presented documents alleging abuse of authority by the Alake, who had been granted the right to collect the taxes by his colonial suzerain, the government of the United Kingdom. He subsequently relinquished his crown for a time due to the affair. She also oversaw the successful abolishing of separate tax rates for women. In 1953, she founded the Federation of Nigerian Women's Societies, which subsequently formed an alliance with the Nigerian Women's International Democratic Federation. Funmilayo Ransome Kuti campaigned for women's vote, as she was for many years a member of the ruling National Council of Nigeria and the Cameroon's NCNC party, but was later expelled when she was not elected to a federal parliamentary seat. At the NCNC, she was the treasurer and subsequent president of the Western NCNC Women's Association. However, she never truly ended her activism. In the 1950s, she was one of the few women elected to the House of Chiefs. At the time, this was one of her homeland's most influential bodies. She founded the Egba or Abeokuta Women's Union along with Eniola Soyinka, her sister-in-law and mother of the Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. In old age, her activism was overshadowed by that of her three sons, who provided effective opposition to various Nigerian military juntas. In 1978, Funmilayo was thrown from a second-floor window.
She was thrown from the second-floor window. Fast forward, in 1978, in 2021, we have another woman campaigning, engaging both the illiterate and the non-illiterate around the world of the plight of the problem in Nigeria. And that will bring us back to hear more from DJ Switch.
And we started to sing the national anthem, just with the hopes that they recognize we're not their enemy. It made no difference. As I laid on the floor, I remember a young man, he just jumped on top of my body and he was screaming, "Cover her, cover her." I couldn't really make sense of what the whole thing was about. He was struck by a bullet on his lower back. I genuinely believe he saved my life, and I don't even know who he is. I don't even know why I didn't run, to be honest. At that time, I thought it was the end. And so my instinct at the moment was show everybody what's going on. You know, you're going to die here today. And so I pulled out my phone, went to Instagram, started live broadcasting this madness. Viewers on the live helped us call ambulances, but the soldiers refused the ambulance's entry. And so some of us had to turn into instant surgeons in an attempt to remove the bullet from the leg of a protester. Eventually, the shooting stopped, and we observed that some of the soldiers were picking up their shells, I believe in an attempt to hide evidence of this crime. And so we scampered around to pick the shells that we could find in an attempt to have evidence of this crime. And this was while other soldiers were dumping bodies onto their trucks. They left, and we felt a sense of victory, you know. But unfortunately, after being on Instagram Live for so long, my phone battery died. Because not too long after...
Again, just as she was explaining, Let's hear what Lady K was telling us on the 1st of July when the invasion into Chief Sunday was held.
tó bá dẹ̀ máa níyànjú kó níyànjú ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn mi ò lè bọ́ síta obìnrin ni mí wọ́n ní kí n má bọ́ síta but kí n gbé lọ sí live kí n jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ bó ṣe ṣẹlẹ̀ pa bàbá ti confam fún mi sí pé àwọn sójà ni so ẹ jọ. gbogbo àwọn èèyàn kí wọ́n mọ̀.
As we are watching this, let's complete this one.
When her son, Fela's compound, a commune known as the Kalakuta Republic, was stormed by 1,000 armed military.
1,000 army invaded the late mother of Fela Anikulapo Kuti. May his also soul rest in peace. We're talking about Mama Fumilayo Ransom Kuti by the Nigerian military. The same happened while DJ Switch was almost killed with the Lekki toll gate. This was again last year.
Another phase of attack was upon us, but this time it was the Nigerian police. And they came in guns blazing as well. And so we ran. We took the injured to a nearby hospital and the others to a church. The church apparently had been on the live and they had offered us refuge. By the next morning, soldiers raided the hospital looking for me. And I owe a great deal of gratitude and thanks to a friend and colleague who had called me earlier and said, put off the location on your phone and leave that hospital as soon as possible. And so it was barely 15 minutes after I left. But it didn't end there. My boss and his wife got threatening phone calls. I couldn't go home to where I lived because we got reports of strange men lurking around my apartment complex.
Now, these are all happening in what is meant to be a country where we are not in military rule. The reason why I've pulled up these very close videos of the late Fumilayo Ramson Kuti, DJ Switch, and our own hero, as you can see, she's also scared of her life because as at that time, nobody knew what was happening apart from, let's hear a little bit more from her.
ṣètìrí nàìjíríà ẹjọ bá wa ṣí ẹ bá wa ṣí ẹ mi ní kọ́ọ̀tì broadcast yìí ó dìgbà tí n bá tó get to the root.
She was also using that medium to communicate back to millions of people around the globe of the atrocity committed live by live. It was 12 minutes 38 seconds that she was on for until everything went quiet. And for hours, nobody knew what was going on. Nobody saw what was happening. But the Creator knew what was happening. Why am I bringing this refresher back on our mind? Because a lot of us have already forgotten what has happened. And when somebody like me sit down here and say we should fight back, majority of you will always be like, we are not ready yet, we are not prepared yet, we must not confront the government because we do not have the means and the authority and the power to confront them. And I say, that's fine. That is totally fine. We must not fight. Because as for people will say, you don't live in Nigeria, so why declare war? And my question is, the war is already on your doorsteps. Sórí ogun tí wọ́n sá fún yẹn àti tí ẹ̀ ń jẹ́ káwa náà fi sá fún, ó ti wà lẹ́ǹkùlé ilé wa. It's not literally until fighter jet is moving from point A to B. It's not until when they complete the mission in the southeast and bring it to the southwest. It is not until when they shut down the telecommunication as they were pretending to shut it down in Zamfara, in Kaduna, in preparedness to probably shut it down in the southwest when the time comes. The war of economy is already affecting you on a daily basis. And you know that yourself. You can deceive yourself, but you cannot deceive me. Sórí ogun tó ní kò ní wọlé yẹn, ogun ebi pípa, ó fẹ́ tó kàn ẹ́. Because by the time you lose somebody that is dear to you, in whatever means in Nigeria, whether it was kidnapping, road accident, whether they got to the hospital and there was no doctor to treat them, whether they got to the hospital and there was no support system, whatever it is, war ó ti wà nínú Nigeria already. But you are thinking it's the kind of war that you watch in the movie. Òun ló ń bọ̀. No, the war is already in there. That is why the military care less by killing you, the youth, that is now trying to campaign that nothing has happened in just 1 year. All those Nigerian flags that you have put on your Twitter, you have now removed it. You are now also trying to see if you can become one of their social media influencer or social media bandit or social media terrorist that wants to attack people like us, that is saying that we are already at war. Look, I am 6 hours away from Nigeria. Maximum 6 hours if I'm coming on a direct flight. As the war is affecting you right now, it's also affecting me. You know why? Because my land is already being terrorized because of you that refuse to do the right thing. Majority of you are saying that we must not fight the government. And I said, that's fine. We don't have the means to fight the government. We haven't got the power to fight the government. But those that you are trying to call to help us fight the government, are they going to come down to fight on our behalf? Do you think that the world that you are calling on, the America, Great Britain, France, Germany, China, Russia, which one of them do you think we have the balls to tell you and me to go and declare a Yoruba nation now so that we can end this nonsense country called Nigeria and let the war start? If you're saying you don't want to fight, you will end up dying in Nigeria anyway. But why not die so that the next generation will not go through what you and your parent and your grandparent have gone through? Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ yín don't have the balls. You're scared. You're waiting for Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho to come and give you that declaration and the right word before you activate. You are waiting for Professor Banji Akintoye. He's in his 86. Kọ́lọ́n túbọ̀ lọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀mí bàbá. Kí bàbá dàgbà fún wa, kó pẹ́ fún wa lórí ìrìn àjò yìí. But do you think he's going to declare the war? You think Professor Akintoye will tell us to go and fight? Ẹ̀ ń dúró kí bàbá sọ fún wa pé a máa jà ní o, ká shut down everywhere. You're waiting for Koiki to give you that declaration. You're waiting for me and others to tell you that you're already inside a war zone like Nigeria. But you're probably waiting for America. Okay, let's hear what America is telling us. Let's hear this video.
Complete solidarity against this and outrage against what happened in Paris, vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. The United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
Complete. It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black, West.
Did you hear that? I purposely paused that. What is the meaning of priority? Let's go and look for it. Priority. I hope I got the spelling right. Let's look for it. It says we are not priority. We are not priority. Okay, I got the spelling. P-O-R-I-T-Y. Google will help me out. That's it. Okay, let's first look at the meaning of priority. What is the meaning of priority?
Priority.
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 Kí ló ń pè bẹ́ẹ̀? The fact or condition of being regarded or treated as more important than others. A thing that is regarded as more important than others. So while you are waiting for United Nations, you are waiting for America, this is what we've been told. Let's just wind it back a little bit.
Committed elsewhere in the world. Black, West Africa is not a priority. Very hard to say.
Very hard to say. Very hard to say. I'm going to play it back. It's just 45 seconds. If I have to play it back more than 200 times today, I want us to take every word. This is the platform that you love so much. You always say, but you love CNN. CNN. CNN 24 hours. I am still live now at 3 o'clock in the morning, like a media. But the CNN is free. That is why somebody like Glow will go and advertise and pay thousands of dollars just so that people can hear Glow on CNN. But when I say support KOIKIMEDIA now, give us the support so that we can also have the capability, the strength to use the media to confront this nonsense government, to bring them to their toes. It is not just about the social media. We want to make sure we fight them. And we are about to launch our next campaign on KOIKIMEDIA. And that campaign is, we need going to be putting out more posters, more flyers in every part of Yoruba land. That is the next agenda. And we're working on that. But let's hear this again from the beginning. It's just 45 seconds.
Complete solidarity against this and outrage against what happened in Paris, vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. The United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
Complete. It's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world. Black, West Africa is not a priority. Very hard to say, but that's the case right now.
Very hard to say. Thank you very much, those of you that are still watching on all the platforms. We are streaming on YouTube, KOIKIMEDIA. We are streaming on Instagram, KOIKIMEDIA. We are streaming on Instagram, OLAYOMI KOIKI. We are live on Twitter. We are also live on KOIKIMEDIA. And I'd like to say thank you very much to the one super chat as well. Well done, brother. Happy birthday to CSI. Hashtag Yoruba Nation now. Thank you very much, the one. That is a message on the YouTube. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. And whether we like it or not, we are going to fight. And don't let anybody tell you that the means to come out of Nigeria will just be the protest, the legal means, the engagement. All that is also going to support, but we must be ready to fight. When is the fight going to come? I don't know. But we as the Yorubas are not cowards. We must. Record there, send us to DSS, send us to federal government, send us to MI5, send us to G20. Ẹni lórí platform kan wọ́n pè ní KOIKIMEDia, ó ní a máa jà ní láti fi kúrò lórí Nàìjíríà. Ẹ sọ pé mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to. Let's hear this again.
Complete solidarity against this outrage against what happened in Paris, vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean,
what happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. But we must continue to live with them until you and my family become the next victim. So it's not a priority to them. Do you know that as Afghanistan is today, be Afghanistan, Bashir Sokwe, Afghanistan to the Taliban, they are now also trying to help Afghanistan because it's going into a crisis, even with the means of Taliban not operated. Let me say this clearly again, and I want to put it on my full screen. This is my face, and this is not a mask. Because I'm not Buhari, dead or alive. This is the real Koiki. We are going to fight. Ọmọ àlè lọmọ tó bá sọ pé àníjà. Ọmọ àlè lọmọ tó bá sọ pé àníbàjọba jà. Ẹni Koiki ló sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Forget about all the nonsense anybody's telling you. If we are truly going to leave Nigeria, we must fight. I don't care whatever anyone tells you on any platform. I don't give a toss. This is my platform. We will fight back to be able to leave Nigeria. If not, 30 years from now, in Tabama Solide, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, we will nonsense that from our joke with Tabama Solide. Yes, it's nonsense if we do not fight it back. Don't tell me we haven't got the weapon to fight. You think it's about just the weapon to fight? There are so many things that can put a country on a standstill. Àìtí fẹ́ ṣe ni a ṣì ń dúró kí bàbá mi tó wà lókè yẹn tẹ̀wọ̀n picture lẹ́yìn mi Ìgbòho ṣá kó wá fún yín ní declaration. No, you must be stupid. Tí Nàìjíríà bá pa ìkànnù family ẹ̀ tó pa bí mẹ́ta bí a true economy tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn. Do you know the economy is so bad? I'm sorry those of you that are calling me èèyàn kan fẹ́ kú. Ó bẹ́tà kẹ́ni yẹn kó kú kí wọ́n náà lè jà kó lè pa ilé. Sórí gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì tó ń pa yín yẹn kí wọ́n náà lè jà kó lè pa gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì yẹn padà. Ó máa dé stage yẹn and it's coming there. Sórí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè àwọn èèyàn all over the world. Ìtorí wọ́n ṣì ń rí dọ́là, wọ́n rí pounds, wọ́n fi ń fún yín ni. Ìjọ tó ò bá rẹ̀ tó bá fún ẹ, tẹ́ni tó love dáadáa tó bá kú, wàá mọ̀ the right thing to máa ṣe. It's because we're still helping you all in the little that we can help. That's why you are thinking that you cannot fight back. Because o ṣì ń rí díẹ̀díẹ̀, o ṣì ń fi díẹ̀díẹ̀. Tó bá dé stage ẹ pé wọ́n náà rí kankan, you will fight back. Thank you very much, Stephanie Emmanuel, for your super chat. And also you said, ẹ kú iṣẹ́, God bless you. God bless you as well. We should not be allowed to be intimidated. We should not be allowed. I understand. We want to engage the international community. But the same Taliban that pushed the international community away, the same international community is trying to run for them now to save lives. Who is fooling who? Do you understand what that means? The same Taliban tó lé America, tó lé UK, tó lé gbogbo wọn dànù. Ẹ jẹ́ káwa náà lé wọn dànù náà. Ká ṣe wá sọ fún wọn pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ ràn wá lọ́wọ́. Ọ̀rọ̀ mi ò yé yín. Wọ́n àìtí fi lé wọn. À ń pàmpà wọn. Torí pé à ń wò pé hey, super power l'Amẹ́ríkà, hey, America, UK àfi lé wọn. Taliban ó lé wọn dànù. Ó lé wọn tẹ̀yìntẹ̀yìn. Ó lé wọn tàkàtàkà. The same Taliban is now talking about humanitarian crisis. But we, àwa ń ṣojo, àwa fi ṣe ní Yorùbá ló gbọ́n jù, Yorùbá ló gbọ́n jù. Ìyẹn làwa ń ṣe lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́. But we must be prepared to shut down the whole system. We must be prepared to lock down the whole system. That is the only way out. That is the final straw. And when that crisis starts, the world would have to deal with the humanitarian crisis that they refuse to deal with now. Do you know what is happening in the Southeast? I'm sure some of you have seen the video of the Fulani Hausa giving command to kill on the spot anyone found within that region. You think the Nigerian people have the balls to say it out? You think all those influencers that you're watching on Instagram, on Twitter, have the balls to show you or tell you of those crimes? The massacre. Again, let's hear the word again.
Priority.
We are not priority to the Western world as Yoruba people. Kì í ṣe priority fún wọn rárá. So ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá sọ pé we are priority, you are wasting your time. And time, like they say, is money. You think all these bastard politicians care whether we are killed or not? You think all these politicians understand that myself and you are being massacred? Let me show you some of the atrocity that the Americans care less how many people get killed before they come in. They were coming back from a mortuary, according to the story, and they were shot by the Nigerian army. Broad daylight. Broad daylight. Once again, a very good morning, and I would like to appreciate another super chat from a very beautiful mother. I won't say much on her, but I can only say thank you very much. Well done, Sir Olayomi. May Almighty God continue His blessing for you. And I say thank you very much for that super chat. Are we now so scared? We want to do it with diplomatic way. That's what I'm looking for. There's nothing wrong in trying that route. But níbi tó dé nísìn, ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀ gbé diplomatic route yẹn sílẹ̀. Let's put the diplomatic route in a cooler. Ká gbé ice lé lórí kó máa tutù. Ẹ jẹ́ ká dàrú. Not being I'm just being sent a message. It's a bit of once again a very good morning. As we appreciate each and every one of you, we also must say Governor's Obiano convoy held hostage 3 soldiers sent to God. Okay, breaking news from what I'm just being told. I'll check that out. Once again, thank you very much to those of you that are sending us your super chat and those of you that continue to, and let me say this clearly again, because this has always been one kind of controversy for a very long time. And I understand some of us that are watching might have, this phone just keep, and I need something because I'm using that to monitor the comments. I understand that a lot of us different view, especially hey boy, you feel it from some of you. But let me say this clearly. For those of you that probably find me along the line of this movement, I have lived in UK for 23 years. I might not have everything I want yet. I might not have everything tó wù mí lọ́kàn láti ní. But living in a country like this that accepted me for 23 years, I'm more than pleased. So if we have started continuously asking you to support the platform, you know why? I'm sure some of you know why. Or probably some of you don't know why. It's because this is what I do now on a daily basis with this campaign. It has literally taken everything that I was previously doing for 23 good years of living in this country. Whether I was working, whether I was freelancing, whatever I was doing, these have taken it away from me. And I'm so happy because if you go back to when I decided to move into this campaign, I said it then and then, and I'm saying it again. I have served the Queen of this country, Elizabeth II, and the British government for 23 good years in whatever I was doing, working, business, whatever I was doing within the confinement of the law. And now, if I give my time, my energy, my effort to Yoruba Oduduwa movement campaign, it is worth everything. I have done night shift where I do not even have the means to sit down and relax. I'm talking about night shift where I'm working continuously until maybe 30 minutes break from 10 to 6 a.m. You don't have to know the job. I'm just trying to let you know. So when you see me like, Baba Yosuni, it might not be every day, but it is worth every minute, every second that I come on this camera. But because a lot of us have had different thing about the name, you probably don't want to have anything to do with me. That's fine. I am just one out of so many Yorubas around the world. I am not the bravest and I'm not the most intelligent. But I am telling you, Ogunlamaja, that is the Yoruba nation. Ẹni bá sọ pé àníjà in whatever means or whatever shape or form, tí Ọlọ́run gan fúnra rẹ̀ mọ̀ pé òun máa gbèjà wa, but àwa là ń dá Ọlọ́run dúró because we want to do it the diplomatic way. Àwa Yorùbá, àwa là ń dá dúró. I got a call from a mother in US. Let me quickly just say good morning to some of our viewers. Morimbe, Mami, Benileke, Ray K. Instead of Omoluabi to come together and prepare for crisis. You're right. The one, thank you very much. I'm watching this comment on the big screen. Excuse me. And I'm also monitoring all the comments. I'm going to open the phone line, but not yet. I see each and every one of you that is still awake with me. Simon Adebisi say, what is E-word, E-crisis? That happened on the shores of Yoruba land in the past. Ajibade Olamilekun, good morning. Good morning, Babawa Ibuku, Feyitimi. We need to gather more effective support because new system analysis define we put more pressure on the authorities to accept Yoruba nation. Free Lady K. I am not saying we should disengage from what we are doing now, but we must scale up a little bit if truly we want to get to the promised land. Mama tó pè mí yẹn, I was able to take some few notes down. And this is what she said to me, just like so many calls that I get. She's been trying to get hold of me for a very long time, but early understand Amawa, they're not into all this techie. So even to get me on a WhatsApp, add the number to the WhatsApp, and sometimes people call me and they don't get through on time, and it could be frustrating. And I understand everybody wants to talk to me, but like I said, we can all do our own little bit within ourselves, within the local government. Abawa gongo. Sori o ṣe fi lọ sí Èkó lọ bá wọn dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ yẹn kò necessary. Just create wàhálà yẹn láàrin community ẹ ní local government ẹ. Wàá rí bó ṣe máa ní effect tó máa dẹ́kọ̀. But ó ṣe ń dún kí Èkó erupt kó tó dá wàhálà lẹ̀ ní Kwara, ní Kogi, ní Ogun State, ní Ondo. Ìwọ dá sílẹ̀ ní community ẹ ní local government ẹ. Wàá rí bó ṣe máa ní effect. Wàá rí bó ṣe máa ní effect. Wọ́n ní àwọn ní opportunity 35 years ago. And let me bring the picture of the late Ooni of Ife, Shijuade. That was the message the mother was telling me. And I want to bring the picture close so that it can correlate as I'm talking. I'm sure some of you know him. He was the late Ooni of Ife before he passed on. Or we say, so many of our folks are US military trained. Okay. I'm sure when the time comes, you'll be supporting whatever crisis is going to happen. But what crisis initially there must be crisis. Mama Wane, some 35 years ago, she was a witness to when a message was delivered to the late Ooni of Ife through Agbala Daniel. What was the message that was delivered to this, our great father, 35 years ago? The message was, and this is how I wrote it down, on my own. So I'm going to read it in English, but I'll try to summarize it as much as I can. And I hope, the most important thing is that we just get the message. I saw a field where I rí ilẹ̀ tó sùn lọ, a big field. I'm sure tá bá sọ pé field, at least that tẹnu tán pè ní field, tá bá rántí pé football pitch as an example. And there was a big pot. Ewúrẹ́ mẹ́ta wá ń jẹun nínú pot yẹn. Ewúrẹ́ mẹ́ta wọ́n jọ ń jẹun nínú pot yẹn, nínú àgbàlá field yẹn. Until the three of them started fighting. And the message then was, Nigeria will break. This was 35 years ago. Our mother is now in her 77, somewhere around there. This call, I had to put somebody online just to, as a critic call, even though, it was not necessary. But something she said to us, or she said to me, was, we must continue to fast, pray, and tó bá lè wáṣọ òdì láti fi ẹ̀mọ̀ pé tí wọ́n bá wáṣọ òdì èèyàn ń bínú nìyẹn. Again, a vision was saw 35 years ago that Nigeria was going to break. And if we have now been told about all these, why are we still trying to hold it back? Kí ló ń fà wá sẹ́yìn gangan? Are we still waiting to hear from? Let's hear this again.
Complete solidarity against this and outrage against what happened in Paris, vis-a-vis what we see in Nigeria, which is truly not, it should not be surprising. Look, what's happening in Nigeria is barbarous. It's horrible. I mean, it's complete madness, yet it's not a priority. The United States unilaterally could do almost anything it needs to do. It would be a long-term effort, but it could be done. The United States has the capability. All the elements of power, we have those.
So why not?
They have the capability. Tóyìnbó bá sọ pé capability, wọ́n ní gbogbo nǹkan to stop the genocide, to stop the Boko Haram, to stop the humanitarian crisis, to stop the killings, to stop everything that we are facing. America have it. But the lady asked, why not? Let's hear.
Complete, it's not a priority. That's the problem. We are committed elsewhere in the world.
We are not the priority of America. So that means let us scale this thing up and put whatever we need to do and shut down the whole system. It's as simple as that. And all these conversations that we have been discussing would then become quicker to integrate between everybody. Then they will start looking for people like us. Then we will start firing the arsenal on their platform. But by the crisis, we are not priority.
Black West Africa is not a priority.
Did you hear that? Black West Africa is not a priority. A kì í ṣe priority fún ìjọba òyìnbó tẹ́ ń pè ní Gẹ̀ẹ́sì, ìjọba Germany, ìjọba France, ìjọba Italy, ìjọba America. So why are we deceiving ourselves? Why are we fooling ourselves that Nigeria will be great? Knowing that Nigeria can never, 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 never be great. Let's come back again just to refresh our mind that if we are truly prepared to make sure that Lady K does not continue to face that injustice for a crime that she has not committed, for the offense that she has not committed, just like our sister here as well, DJ Switch. Let's hear more from her.
Thanks. I haven't gone home actually since the 20th of October 2020. Speaking of home, I'm from a large family of 8, 5 boys, 3 girls, with very opposing characters, I tell you. I'm the last, with a sprinkle of last child crazy. But I remember my parents, they worked really hard to provide us with basic things: food, education, healthcare, security, allowances. All while teaching us to love and respect each other's differences. On the other hand, Nigeria is home to over 200 million brothers and sisters with different cultures and tribes and faiths and beliefs. Things and differences that the government has used for the longest time to pit us against each other. But the EndSARS movement swept that away, even if it was just for a time being. I witnessed protesters collaborating and helping each other. Protesters giving food and water to the same police who's been killing us off every day.
Let's pause that. Again, I'm just reminding our conscious mind that we now have her. She was lucky to have been taken out of Nigeria. She lives in Canada now. And I'm sure they're giving her all the necessary security. But do you think that alone will bring Canada to come into Nigeria? No. Oh yes, it's good she has done this beautiful presentation. The lighting is good. The camera is very better than mine. The quality is good. She can, but that is not going to solve the problem. She was not lucky. She was taken away. And if we come back here, no, let me come back out. She was not lucky. I just want to show you something. But while I'm preparing that, let's just hear Ikilo again. Kini Ikilo? Answer for you, and if you go, Ikilo ni.
bóyá àpapọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ tí ojú rí Fúlàní ti tẹ̀lé ṣòfò kan ó ti tó gẹ́. Ẹ wò kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nǹkan tí a gbọ́. Dr. Akóròdé dẹ́kun máa jẹ́ kó. Ń ló bá sọ̀rọ̀ bí kò ti jẹ́ lọ. Níṣe ni wọ́n ṣapá rẹ̀ pé ojú rí. Ìjọba ò sọ̀rọ̀ wọn nígbà yẹn sí. Àwọn ẹni tí ò ti jẹ tó ṣe bí olórí. Sunday Adéyẹmọ ìwọ òdìdé sí. Òṣèṣẹ́ wọn lọ́jọ́ kò fẹ́ dẹ̀. Ó ti yá lọ́dọ̀ kí n gbọ́ àwọn ìgbìyànjú. Ẹ má gbàgbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́lé. Ìwé ní Símọ̀tù Àbákẹ́ Paramount nínú fún wa. Aládùúgbò kí n gbọ́ àwọn ìgbìyànjú. Ẹ má gbàgbọ́ bá a ṣe fọ́lé. Torí gbogbo ẹja ní ìgbìyànjú ọ̀gbọ́n ṣe é o. Paramount náà wà láì fún ẹja ní o. Ìgbìyànjú ọ̀gbọ́n ṣe é o. Egungun tí a ti kọ́ ajá lọ. Ayọ̀bọ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ jẹ́ gbọ́dọ̀ sọnù o. Sunday Adéyẹmọ ìlú òòṣà. Egungun ẹja ní kíní kan gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe fún wa. Bàbá wa láti Ọ̀yọ́ egungun ẹja ní kíní kan gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o. Bàbá wa ní Ọ̀fífẹ́ egungun ẹja ní kíní kan gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o.
Let's come back now to the conversation with Rentin Kotimuwa.
Increased by 78%.
Now, she was not lucky like DJ Switch. I'm talking about Lady K. But this was part of the video we saw of her during some of the appearances at the court.
Just increased by 78%. That's true. It's confirmed. Believe.
That is what they've done to her. Demoralize her. Make sure that she is being tortured just because she was demanding the right of millions of Yoruba. But the same Yorubas are still waiting to take order from America, from United Nations. A ṣì ń dúró láti fi gba àṣẹ lẹ́nu àwọn yẹn ká tó declare Yorùbá nation, ká tó sọ pé a fẹ́ Nàìjíríà mọ́. A ṣì ń dúró à ń wòran because èèyàn kan ni Lady K, but ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀mí ló ń lọ lójoojúmọ́. And that is what they've done to her. So they have used this to pass on message to millions of other Nigerians. Pé tẹ́ bá dánwò pẹ́rẹ́ tó bá gbé ọwọ́ pẹ̀lú ìjọba, ìta máa fojú yín rí ni. And when we look at the whole, I've talked about this before in some previous program. The whole security architect of the country is less than 400,000. 400,000. I'm talking about Tabaka Oleya Konko. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But because we don't have also the numbers to push the message, I'm not talking about it might be Yoruba nation. No. I'm talking about the numbers to converge in different local government. Oh, ní láti kúrò ní local government here. Oh, ní láti ní fẹ́ travel láti Kwara wá sí Ọ̀yọ́ State. No. We make sure that we hold every local government. We have at least the numbers. And that means we are going to stretch. Lórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá nìkan ni o. When I talk about the whole 400,000 security operatives in Nigeria, they cannot capture all the Yoruba land. Not to talk about the southeast that is also boiling because they want freedom. The middle belt is boiling. The northwest is boiling. The northeast is boiling. But when we talk about our own Yoruba land, the Nigerian security, I can hear the commissioner for Lagos, CP, that stupid man that killed Jumoke Oyeleke. Gbogbo yín lẹ ṣì máa ṣe ẹ̀wọ̀n. Ẹ wojú tiwa dáadáa. Gbogbo yín lẹ ṣì máa ṣe ẹ̀wọ̀n. You're not going to go scot-free. So àbọ̀ òun ni tọ̀dọ̀ ti yín yẹn. But one thing they don't understand is, let me tell all these police officers in Southwest, remember that your family live among people in that same community that we know. I'm talking about all the uniformed men, from police to the army. Your wife, they might live in the barrack, but they don't live permanently in the barracks because the barrack is so absorbed. So most of them now are living outside the barracks. So this is not like living in the barracks where nobody sees them, nobody knows who they are. Everybody knows who they are. The more we are telling you now that the time is approaching. It's not about the kind of NSAS approach. We're talking about every Yoruba community local government will rise up simultaneously. The Nigerian government do not have the means. They don't have the power to contain everybody. But because when people see images like Lady K beamed on the television in Nigeria, people saw the Lekki massacre in Nigeria, then people are scared. People do not want to have anything to do with Nigeria. And we can activate this now. We can activate it today. When the whole protest hit up in every local government, one need the capacity. The Nigerian government does not have the capacity to, because remember, they don't have the numbers to stop what is happening in all. I don't know how many local governments we have in each of the states. We might do maybe in a background conversation on that. But what I am saying is, if we all hit out in our local government, the Nigerian system does not have the capacity to send soldiers, police, air force into every local government trying to pick everybody. Possible. The reason why they are able to go to Ojota, because Ojota was just one location that we have been telling people to converge. Now we need to think away from that Ojota kind of system anymore, because that is not working. The only thing that can work now is every local government within the Yoruba land, even the remote part, must rise up to shut down Nigeria. Every local government. And that, if that happened for 3 good consecutive days, the country will be completely locked down. Okay? Somebody said there's no sound. It must be from your end, because you're the only one saying that. You might want to come out of the broadcast and come back in. But àwọn are waiting. It is good that we are fasting, and we must not stop fasting. It is good that we are praying, and we must never stop praying. Nǹkan méjèèjì yẹn a gbọ́dọ̀ fi ṣeré. Bá ṣe ń gbàdúrà, bá ṣe ń gbàwẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká wá ṣe kíni, ẹ jẹ́ ká jáde ní gbogbo local government. Ká fi ẹ̀dùn ọkàn wa hàn pé a fẹ́ ìjọba yìí mọ́. People think it's about Lagos alone that is the problem. No. I am talking about simultaneous ripple effect to shut down the whole system once and for all. Ibo mélòó ni military fi lọ láti máa lé yín mú? Because some of the local government are very remote. So ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbé ní local government yẹn lẹ máa lè understand terrain yẹn. And there are so many things that can be done to shut it down, even in a way that the government would not be able to move all those military enforcement from one area to the other. And I'm sure you all understand what I'm saying. Do not be bueno sort of. But Andrew the United Nations, Andrew the European Union, Andrew the America, Andrew the Great Britain, Andrew the African Union to come and start telling us what to do. You see? But when people say, hey, come back, come on, why do I have to be at home? When I was at home, how many of you came down to even see me in Ibadan? I was at home for 7 months. So coming home now is not the issue. It is about you taking the bull by the horn. And those of you that are talking about 2023 swagger, Tinubu swagger, let's say this clearly. As Tinubu is preparing for his campaign, that has nothing to do with us. We must continue to demand a self-determination to opt out from the contraction called Nigeria. Sorry, somebody was telling us about Anambra earlier. Obiano was attacked or something, and I was going to check it out. Obiano, Anambra. Anambra on fire as suspected higher political government stormed the venue of Afghan governorship election campaign rally, blocked Governor Willie Obiano's convoy for over 1 hour, allegedly exchanged powerful gunshots with the police and soldiers on ground. Okay. So there was some kind of crisis in Anambra. And we know that because the election is coming up. So the Nigerian government and all the politicians are killing themselves, and they will soon kill themselves more and more. So, like I'm saying, bringing down Nigeria, as we've all been working hard, is good option. But moving it to the next level is not something we should be scared to discuss. And the more we are scared to discuss it, the more the government is ready to go hard on each and every one of us. But either Wanile, you're just waiting. Now let's come back to Benin Republic in terms of Why are they still holding to Sunday Igboho? Even after so many people have said we need to let this man go and have a proper medical treatment, which is already overdue. We know that the government wanted to kill it, and I've shown you the video of Lady K that was able to tell us that as quickly as possible. I greet every one of you on Instagram as well. Say good morning and thank you for staying tuned on this broadcast. It's just coming up to 3:40 a.m. in London. The longer we are saying to Benin Republic to please allow Chief Sunday Igboho to go for medical treatment, the more pressure it will be putting on the country. But I've had a lot of people say, Yomi, Benin is holding Chief Sunday Igboho nítorí pé the politicians in Nigeria want it so, and they want to keep him there till the election date. Let me go on my calendar from KOIKIMEDIA.com and let me tell you how many days before the election. And you can tell me whether in realistic they can hold Chief Sunday Igboho without any crisis that will erupt before election. We're hoping to have, let me show you my screen so that you can have an idea what I'm doing behind the scene. By end of October, this our Yoruba Strategic Alliance Omoluabi Worldwide, they will be having a Zoom meeting with around the globe, which I am working with them so that they can come and give us a discussion about the proposed constitution that they put together. Does not literally mean is the final constitution, is a proposed constitution. Does not mean that I'm not constitution from Buboa, but again, they've put things together. That's the 15th of August, and I'm talking to them behind the scene. So we are now looking, we should have done it before I went to Glasgow, but because of time constraint. But we are looking around the 30th, I think either 30th or 31st of October. But as soon as we have the flyer out, I'll be telling you more on that. So I'm sure some of you know the proposed constitution. Now, look at the 485 days. Do you think that Benin Republic can hold Chief Sunday Igboho from now TTD another 485 days? The election bá wá tán, wá wá fi sílẹ̀, ó yá máa lọ, má bínú, ààrẹ ṣẹ̀kan kan tó ṣe, just go. Let's be realistic now. Mo fẹ́ ká wà realistic. Ǹjẹ́ yẹn lè ṣẹlẹ̀? Some people will say Koiki ó lè ṣẹlẹ̀, kò dẹ̀ sí nǹkan tá a máa ṣe sí. There's been a lot of reports, which I'm sure some of you must have heard, either from the lawyer that spoke with the BBC or different bloggers that are speaking. But people want to hear from me as the spokesman that what is going on? Kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan? And just like we told you before, if you remember, last week, when I came out with that breaking news, which you all remember these. You all remember. And we are asking the President of Benin Republic, Patrick Talon, to allow him to seek medical care, medical attention as quickly as possible because of his health. A lot of people wants to know about that health. But all I can say to you is his health is now in need. Okay, I might as well just bring my camera here so that instead of me coming out of it, that's it. So at least I have my camera here and I can stay here for a bit of time. Chief Sunday Igboho's health, like we've said before, has not changed at all. It is still the same. Regardless of whatever you must have heard or listened to, Olóyè bí Máyégún ṣe pè wọ́n, health needs medical attention. And again, in 7 days from today, the 20th, which is going to be next week, Wednesday, two things, if Chief Sunday Igboho is not released by this time next week, excuse me, two things will be playing out around the globe. 3 months till what move Chief Sunday Igboho sí Benin Republic, because he was stopped on his way to Germany with his wife. He has all the necessary documents to make that journey. But the Nigerian government had already put his name out as someone of interest, even though he was not, or he has not committed any crime. And that was why Benin Republic did not allow him to complete that journey that he was making to Germany. He had no intention to stay in Benin Republic. He was only passing by because he was moving out of Nigeria, where his life, Emir, was already at stake. So they stopped him in Benin Republic on the 20th of July. Also, 20th of October, Bastishin Solo, Akbe Oshumeta. And you now also think that in the next 485 days, Timothy Wonilenko, Benin Republic will hold him without any charges, so that Nigeria can complete our election coming up. Because Chief disagree our initial election and the politicians are worried, they are scared. Tinubu, Obasanjo, name every one of these political gladiators, either from the Yoruba side, the Igbo side, the Middle Belt, the Hausa, the Fulani, that says, ẹ bá wa mú chief mọ́lẹ̀ mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, a mọ̀ pé kò ní kankan tó ṣe, but ẹ kàn bá wa dè mọ́lẹ̀, ẹ fi kọ́kọ́rọ́ lọ́kẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. And then àwa tó kù, àwa sùn, àmọ́ wá wòran, àmọ́ wá sórí show, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ẹ bá wa fi bàbá wa sílẹ̀, olóyè sílẹ̀ o. And you think, I'm asking, gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹlẹ́ran ara, and you think nothing can happen. Lọ́kàn ara wa, nothing can happen. Àkọ́ máa wò, wá wá de chief mọ́lẹ̀, láìṣẹ̀, láìpààyàn, láìjalè, láì commit offence ní Benin Republic. So Benin náà máa wá gba àbọ̀dè bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, pé torí Nigeria ń threaten wọn, torí àwọn politician ń threaten wọn, Patrice Talon wá decide pé okay, ẹ̀ ta lè ṣe ni pé ká mú mọ́lẹ̀, ká má jẹ́ kó lọ sí Germany. Germany that he has the right. He doesn't need a visa he has the right gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹni tó ní resident tó lé ọmọ níbẹ̀ tó bí ọmọ síbẹ̀ tó ń gbé níbẹ̀ tó níyàwó níbẹ̀ tó ní right láti lọ Canada tó ní right láti lọ ìlú míì Benin á wá bá wa dìímú wọn náà bá wa tọ́jú ẹ̀ for 485 days and then nothing is going to happen. Do you think that it can happen? Ìbéèrè ni I don't know. I'm just asking a question. Ǹjẹ́ lọ́kàn ara yín ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ ètò yìí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ǹjẹ́ rò pé á pọ̀ lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwa máa fàdúrà ràn lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run fún lálàáfíà mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ o Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí nǹkan kan ṣe o and nothing is going to happen. Even if we say we don't want to do anything. Táwa bá náwó ò ní ṣe nǹkan kan ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ló ṣe máa rí fún gbogbo àwọn èèyàn. Tí àwa bá tẹ̀ sọ pé a fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan kan ju pé ká máa bẹ bàbá wa President Talon pé kó jọ̀ọ́ kó wọlá inú ẹ̀ kó gbọ́ tiwa kó fún bàbá wa láàyè kó lọ fún treatment. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń pè mí ní gbogbo ìgbà lẹ máa ń béèrè pé ìgbésẹ̀ wo gan ni wọ́n tún ń gbé lórí ọ̀rọ̀ shift láti lè make sure pé ó gba ìtúsílẹ̀ ní kíákíá láti lè kúrò ní inú bẹ̀nẹ̀ tí ó wà. Ìdáhùn mi tí lè máa ń fún yín ni pé it's work ongoing. But my question is, if Benin now start playing funny and start dancing to the tune of whoever around the world, whether it is a government of another country that has interest in this case and asking that it should be kept for now, whether it is our own government or our own corrupt politicians or some individuals that think that they have the power. Lótìtọ́ lódodo, fasting, prayers are going for him 24/7. And people are doing that continuously. And I've seen different videos. I saw one that one of our sister, she did some 2 months ago, and that came onto my desk through WhatsApp. But I can tell you, as you're watching this now, this time next week, ó máa máa pé oṣù mẹ́ta tí Benin ti dá Chief Sunday Igboho dúró. Mélòó gan ni gbogbo Benin Republic? That is where I want to go. Tá a bá sọ pé Benin, what is their population? Presently, I'm just looking at Google so that I don't have to strain my brain. And let me show you the information that I have here. Again, the whole total population of Benin Republic is 12.12 million as at last year. That means they're probably up to date with their population, not like Nigeria. So, a country of 12.12 million is holding a man that is demanding self-determination for 80 million Yorubas, or let's say 40 million. Let's even say 12 million. Torí pé àwọn kan ò fẹ́ tẹ̀lé wa, wọ́n ní náà Nàìjíríà làwọn fẹ́. And that is why I said I pity those still supporting one Nigeria today. So 12.12 million of a country will now hold Chief Sunday Adeyemo, popularly known as Igboho Oòṣà, and I also call him Imole Ogo Yoruba, for the next, let me show you the days again, 485 days. And if every one of us, again, is keeping quiet because we are scared, because our Yoruba, Yorùbá wa gan, wọ́n máa ń ní our intelligent, there's no doubt about it. But when it comes to ká push, ká activate, nǹkan kan máa fà wá sẹ́yìn nítorí pé à ń bẹ̀rù ni. Kò sí ọ̀kan tó jù bẹ́ẹ̀ náà lọ. Fear. I see people lórí show lálẹ́ ní sàn, hey, why not come back and come and help us? You know all those things they talk about. But last year, you were saying that. This year, you don't have to tell me that again. Or probably about the next year, you can start telling me that. Because you are all scared. And that is why Fela Anikulapo Kuti, in one of the videos that we have played before, says, when you talk the truth, your friends, we all want to live life. And I can understand. Some of us have not even lived that life that we want to live. And if you power abroad, we are living life. We look fresh. We take the kitchen wine and all that. To you, that is life. But to us, we are all entrapped in this system. Entrapped. What is entrapped to us? So we are just going day in, day out, day in, day out. Yeah, we have freedom, we have everything. But we've been entrapped because kò ń ṣe ilẹ̀ tiwa gangan láti execute gbogbo tá à ń ṣe. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn ló ní knowledge, ló ní ìmọ̀, ló ní qualification tí wọ́n lè wá implement lórí ilẹ̀ wa. But they can't. They've tried it. People have done business in Nigeria that has failed, not because they are not perfect. It's because that system is a messed up country. And that is why you at home must now start realizing that the only option now is to stop having sympathy with Nigeria. The more you are having sympathy with Nigeria, the more you are trying to build your life in a country that disrespect you and your own external friends and family. Surely, it is only in a country like Nigeria that a 40-foot container fall off Ojo Elegba and crash into a vehicle, and probably for whatever reason, or not let any yellow who are alive, and you think, oh, you are more concerned about I don't for long, but you forgot that it is a system that did not check the 40-foot container before it left Apapa to know whether it was drivable to lift a 40-foot item on a bridge that should have been destroyed, rebuilt, and make sure that the system works. So the question is, what is Benin Republic playing at? Eric, at the beginning, of when Chief Sunday Igboho was taken away. I hardly say so much on this case because as a spokesman, gbogbo tí bá sọ will be picked by every media around the globe. Apart from all the statements that he has asked me to release. But my question to everyone that is watching this morning, can Benin Republic hold Chief Sunday Igboho for 480 days from today, before the election and after the Nigerian election, without no charges? Kọ́kọ́ tì mọ́lé, kó ti kọ́kọ́rọ́ pa, kó wà níbẹ̀, kó máa jẹun, kó máa sùn, kò ní access síyàwó, kò ní access sọ́mọ, kò ní access sáwọn ọ̀rẹ́, kò ní access the kind of life he was living prior to now. So what is Benin Republic playing into? And for how long can they play this game? Sorry, 485 days, not 480. We will continue to engage with Benin Republic. We will continue to ask them to demand Chief Sunday Igboho's freedom. But we must also prepare for the worst case scenario. Whatever the worst case scenario you can think in your head, just think about it. Because if we are talking about, again, a rule of law in a country where they must have their own laws, torí pé wọ́n sọ fún wa pé òfin tiwọn ó yàtọ̀ sí ti Nàìjíríà, which we agree. But ṣé òfin yẹn lè de Chief Sunday Igboho mọ́lẹ̀ for 485 days without any justice? Kò commit crime nínú ìlú wọn, but they are ready to hold him there without looking into his plight. Some say we should look into taking Benin Republic to the International Court for his freedom. Some suggest we take peaceful protest to all the embassies across the world. But my question is, are we all going to sit back again and look and do nothing, just as we have done nothing for 61 years? Ṣé bá ṣe máa jókòó náà ni for another 61 years? I won't take calls this morning. I wanted to, but I won't take calls because I'm already tired myself. But let us be rest assured that we'll continue but one thing is, we must remember that we are not priority for America government. Likewise, the British government wants us to go for another election in 2023. We must demand Chief Sunday Igboho immediate release in the captives of Benin Republic that is now using him as a bait between the government of Benin Republic and whoever is behind holding Chief Sunday Igboho, because keeping him there for them is much better than having him outside. And if we don't have him outside very soon, for how long do you think we can hold everybody? Hey, I've seen the video that was put together by some groups of Yorubas. And just as usual, people will have different take on it. Hey, Bama ṣe video yẹn. Hey, ìyẹn Yorùbá tẹ̀lé ẹ̀pọ̀n kankan. Rí wọn ẹnu náà ní bí àjàkàrà. That's fine. We can all disagree and agree. That is the nature of life. Look, I was watching the news, and is it all this cartoon? What they also to gear now. So they're bringing it to the world, like making it look cool. For them it's fine. You might disagree with it, but some people agree with it. But even if you control a certain amount of people and say, hey, Emma lo ṣe kankan, Emma da wàhálà lẹ́ o, kò sí nǹkan tó bẹ́ẹ̀ iṣẹ́ wọn, àwọn iṣẹ́ o. What about those that you will never know and will do something? And it will not be the first time that we've seen people around the world that love their, whether influencer, whether they are loyal to something, and they are ready to commit anything on that, whatever reason of injustice. Because what is playing out in Benin Republic now, as far as we are concerned, is another injustice against a Yoruba son. It's just another injustice. And in Nigeria, every Yoruba elite, every Yoruba whatever, are just moving on as if nothing is happening. Total injustice and disrespect to another son of Yoruba, Omoluabi, kept in Benin Republic just because he's looking again, is demanding that his people be free. And again, we are still pleading from this platform with Benin Republic. I know they're watching. They have their media watching. They can translate it back to the country president that we are pleading. We can't do more than plead with them. Just let him go so that he can go and have a proper treatment. It's not your problem for what he's fighting for. Kò ń ṣe inú Benin ló ti ń sọ pé òun fẹ́ self-determination. Kò ń ṣe inú Benin ló ti ń sọ pé òun ṣe protest. All these were done in Nigeria. And Nigerian government wanted to kill him. And there's a lot of evidence to that. Let me just remind you some of those evidence, just in case you have forgotten about it. If you go on www.koikimedia.com, you will see right there Chief Sunday Igboho's house, all the atrocity We have at least about 100 pictures put together. Imagine this was what Lady K was facing, plus the remaining resident people living in the house when the military came to invade. While I'm playing this, I'm going to be showing you the image. So you're going to be hearing Lady K's voice, but I'm going to be showing you the atrocity that ended what she saw on the 1st of July.
wọ́n ní kí n má bọ́ta but kí n gbé lọ sí live kí n jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kí wọ́n mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí kì í ṣe ṣeré o gbogbo létí bọ́ta wọ́n ti fèsì wọn but mi mọ iye àwọn sójà tó jẹ́ o mi mọ bó ṣe pọ̀ tó o àmọ́ wọ́n sọ fún mi wípé àwọn sójà ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ti surround wa so wọ́n release gidi ni tí ò ṣe ṣeré ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá mi share ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pa àti wà under attack nílé Chief Sunday Igboho mi mọ bó ṣe pọ̀ tó mò ń là fún yín o mi mọ báwọn sójà yẹn ṣe pọ̀ tó o ṣe ń gbúgbò gan wọ́n yìn gidi ni ṣe ń gbọ́ gidi ni ẹ jẹ́ bá mi share gbé lọ YouTube gbé lọ everywhere kí gbogbo èèyàn tètè mọ̀ àwọn tó sùn kọ́ jí ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bá wa share ẹ bá mi share àti wà under attack nílé Chief Sunday Igboho. wọn ráyè wọlé o but àwọn warrior náà ti lọ fèsì wọn ta ìwé ọ̀pọ̀ wọn lè ń gbọ́ ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ó bẹ́tà àwọn warrior tó bá wà tó sì ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kó wá fèsì wọn níta ìta ló wà àwọn tó dé bá dẹ̀ ń bọ̀ kọ́mọ bó ṣe máa rìn according to nǹkan tó sọ fún mi sìn wọn ni wọn sọ̀rọ̀ àǹdí wa níbínú jáde ta ló ń pè mí why calling me ẹ pè sórí fífẹ́ WhatsApp ẹ má pè sórí messenger wọn ni mò ń lò.
And this was what happened after they took her away. This was all the carnage.
ẹ bá wa ké sí gbogbo àwọn warrior wa ó pọ̀ kí ni tí mi gbọ́ ọ̀pọ̀ tí mo gbọ́ ìpọ̀ kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ I know no problem but we agbọ́dọ̀ mú wọn ni wọn gbọ́dọ̀ escape gbogbo wọn bá wá òkúlẹ̀lẹ̀ jàǹtà èmi máa gbọ́dọ̀ sọ wọn ṣẹlẹ̀ but wọn gbọ́dọ̀ sá lọ that is my goal. ṣé ẹ gbúrò ẹ̀mí mímọ́ èmi ti pa náà wúmu mi o ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa ṣe Jésù ẹ jọ̀ọ́ náà ẹ bá wa ké sáwọn èèyàn bá sọpọ́ọ̀tì o ẹ jọ̀ọ́ níbi ìjókòó.
And all these, the outcome.
ẹ má pè sórí messenger ó disturb fóònù tí mo fi ń broadcast ẹ jọ̀ọ́ please help me to share it please we just need to inform people I know nothing is going to happen I'm nothing is going to happen but people have to know what is happening now this is Totu Shemburo.
And we know what happened after that, after all these images. We saw the atrocity, the bullet holes, the carnage, the destruction.
ẹ jọ̀ọ́ bá mi share mo fi títóbi Ọlọ́run ọba bẹ̀ yín ẹ bá wa share ètò yìí ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá mọ̀ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé Chief Sunday Igboho báyìí àti wà under attack pẹ̀lú àwọn Nigerian military.
And you can see that they were there to kill him.
ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run.
They were there to kill every one of them. If not that she was able to
kí ni yóò ṣe ẹ jọ̀ọ́ torí Ọlọ́run ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa ké sí gbogbo àwọn warrior please I need gbogbo wọn bí bá ẹ jọ̀ọ́.
And just as they've done before, it is not the first time we saw how the military killed the late mother of Fela Anikulapo Kuti.
In 1950s, she was one of the few women elected to the House of Chiefs. At the time, this was one of her homeland's most influential bodies. She founded the Egba or Abeokuta Women's Union along with Eniola Soyinka, her sister-in-law and mother of the Nobel laureate Wole Soyinka. In old age, her activism was overshadowed by that of her three sons, who provided effective opposition to various Nigerian military juntas. In 1978,
1978, the year I was born. As I was being given birth, whatever the month this happened, but that same year, the late mother of Fela Anikulapo Kuti was killed by the Nigerian government, and it's the same Nigerian government in 2021 attack.
Jọ̀ọ́, èmi mo mọ̀ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ níbí báyìí sí, please. I've done that, so I've done that. Ẹ wo nǹkan tí mo ṣe gan ni.
And after that, we saw her, after so many months, eventually brought to court in this distress way. And the Yoruba saying we shouldn't fight. Look at her. Look at what they've done to her. This was her scared of her lives because we saw the aftermath. The same way DJ Switch was explaining here that they were trying to hide, the bullet that was picked up. Remember, she was showing us the bullet somewhere in this thread. I can't remember where exactly. Let's hear this again.
Armed peaceful protesters with live ammunition. We cried, we braced.
I was proud before this. Let's go back a little bit. Live ammunition was used against peaceful protesters. This time next week, it might be 1 year. But our people are saying we must not fight back. Let's hear more from Lady K. We're just about to bring the program.
Yeah, that's why it's more switch off, you know.
This was all the destruction on the 1st of July. And the same Chief Sunday will now be held.
Bá mi share. Mo ti live flat. Ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀. On fire ló lé gidi gan ni.
The blood of Alhaji
ẹjọ́.
is what you're watching now.
Ẹjọ́, ó kọjá ṣeré, please.
Alhaji Fatai killed on that same day. Bullet hole.
Ẹjọ́, ẹ bá wa share, ẹ bá wa ké sí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá. Ẹ bá wa jí gbogbo wọn, ó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí. Eléyìí ò ṣe bíi tìjọ́sí. Ẹjọ́, confirm wọn lélẹ̀ àwọn Nigerian military ni. Ó kọjá bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ìṣòro tó fi ń yìnbọn yẹn sínú compound. Gbogbo àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ àti bọ́tà wọn ti fèsì wọn. In fact, mi lè ṣàlàyé bí ìbọn yẹn ṣe ń wọlé fún yín. No. Ilé pọ̀. Ẹjọ́, ẹ bá wa share.
She was analyzing what eventually turned out to be what we saw. The blood of Adigun, murdered cold blood on the 1st of July. The house that was visited by so many lovely people destroyed completely. And that is why they are still holding him in Benin Republic. The whole house completely destroyed. Animals were killed. Leftover ammunitions. And Jamil is still with the DSS. And on that note, I say thank you very much to those of you that stay tuned. Like to appreciate our people, but we must not be coward not to prepare to fight back. Whatever the fight back that you might think of, you don't have to call me and tell me this is what you want to do. Let us all do what we have to do simultaneously and lock down the whole country once and for all. That's the only way out. Yes, engagement is good, but the world is not interested in our plight because we have not been killed enough. The world is more now interested in the Taliban country called Afghanistan. Maybe the world will be more interested when the Fulani terrorists overthrow every part of your land. Then you will understand that as you are in a humanitarian crisis, you will still then be under a terrorist country. Because currently right now, Afghanistan is being controlled by Taliban. And I'm sure some of you know who Talibans are. So Andrew, Odigba Toba overrun wa, which Olorun tell ni fún wọn ṣe náà. But action is right in our hands to stop it. And we can only stop it together. Have a very good morning and have a blessed night for those of you that are waking up. I say thank you very much for staying tuned. I'll be back again whenever I'm back. My name is OLAYOMI KOIKI. Ikilo. Ona sọ fún gbogbo yín. Ó súnmọ́ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni.
Olúbàdàn tilẹ̀ Ìbàdàn, egungun ẹja ní kíní kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o. Bàbá wa Ọbásanjọ́, egungun ẹja ní o, kíní kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o. Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò, egungun ẹja ní kíní kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o. Gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá, egungun ẹja ní o, kíní kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o. Àgbẹ̀kọ̀ ajá lọ́rùn, ajá ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ kó gbọ́dọ̀ sọnù o. Sunday Adé ẹ̀mọ Ìgbòho ṣá, egungun ẹja ni kíní kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe fún wa. Àdìjàgbara ni kíní kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o. Àdìjàgbara ni o kíní kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o. Aṣíwájú ogun ni kíní kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe o. Aṣíwájú ogun ni o kíní kan ò. Aṣíwájú ogun ni kò gbọ́dọ̀ gbẹ̀yìn. Egungun ẹja ni kíní kan ò gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe fún wa. Ló jẹ́ ní olókìní tó wọlé tẹ̀kùn lóye o. Ó ti di dandan kó dẹran ọbẹ̀ tẹ̀kùn ni. Gbogbo Fúlàní ló fẹ́ ká jèrè ara wa. Ọmọ Adéyẹmọ ní oṣọkọ ìyá yín. Sunday Igboho ní oṣọkọ màmá yín. Queen Isimatu Abake Nwaka. Ọmọ